Good morning, guys. This morning we're making some apple, cinnamon, nutmeg waffles out of oats and some of this honey, an egg. That's about it. Now, I don't really have a recipe for waffles. I hardly ever follow a recipe for waffles, to be quite honest with you. I've never found a recipe that I did follow that I actually enjoyed. If anybody has a waffle recipe out there where they are crispy like you get at the hotels, please send it my way. Please, I beg you. I don't care how long it'll take me to make it or what ingredients, if I have to buy a special ingredient. I want a crispy waffle. I did get crispy waffles at the end of this by accidentally forgetting them in the waffle iron. The last two that I made, I completely forgot about. I ate my breakfast, did my dishes, and then turned around and saw that the waffle iron was still on and almost had a heart attack. Thankfully, they were perfect. Honestly, all of them should be like that every time, but I don't have 75 minutes to make a batch of waffles. Granted, the ones that I made were very tasty and used up at least one apple from the fridge and some of the oat flour that I had in my pantry. So it worked out. But like I said, if you have a waffle recipe that is tried and true, perfectly crispy every time, please send it my way. I will. Thank you. I wonder if my perfect pancake recipe would waffle. Maybe I should try that. Now we have the beautiful garden harvest. I know you guys see my harvests every time and it's kind of boring. I get the same things because all we really have in abundance are cucumbers, but I'm honestly really proud of my garden and that's why I keep showing it. And also I want the transparency of you guys knowing how many I actually pick and eat. We actually ended up gifting a few to a few friends. Now, of course, like many of you, I had to jump on the Logan cucumber trend. I made the stinking salad and it was delicious and I loved it and my husband loved it. I kind of gave it my own twist, mostly because he doesn't really follow a specific recipe every time and he just kind of throws random quantities in, which I love because that's how I cook. But I just used what I had on hand. I had two garden cucumbers that day because honestly, more than that would be way too much for the two of us. Um, Four tomatoes from the garden, and those were little cherry tomatoes. And then I had a half of a white onion, or yellow onion, actually, I should say. And I went ahead and wrote the ingredients that I put down. This really did taste like if I put like one of those fancy ranch packets in or fancy ranch dressings in. Only I used the sriracha salt and that gave it just a little hint of spicy in the back notes. It was so nice. We really enjoyed it. Would I make it again? 100%. I want to try a few of his Asian style ones. I don't have any MSG though. To go along with our salad, I went ahead and made some spicy tuna rolls out of the leftover sushi rice that we had in the fridge. It did need to be rehydrated a bit because it wasn't sushi rice that I used. It was actually just long grain rice. It wasn't even a short grain rice. So it did dry out just a tad. And so putting that in the microwave and warming it up with just a little bit of water really came and reconstituted it to a usable consistency. It brought back a little bit of that stickiness to it, which is definitely needed when you're making anything with a nori sheet or sushi like. So here I am making my daughter's plate. I just put a few little pieces in just so that she kind of gets a taste for it, but nothing that she could choke on because she's still missing a few teeth. And then I gave her just some plain tuna because I don't think that she'd appreciate the sriracha mayo as much as we do. And I just went ahead and made our plates. This was a really quick dinner, wonderful for a weeknight dinner. Really quick took about 15 minutes to put together, and we were sitting and eating within a few minutes of my husband getting home. So it was nice. Also, I've really been liking making these little sushi burritos rather than individual sushi rolls. It's so much easier to make, takes a lot less time, and I don't have to finick with a sticky knife and constantly be wiping it down. It was great. The only thing that I would change about this meal is I would put the salad in a bowl of its own. My husband just found this lonely little strawberry. It's the only one. Day 9. I can't believe it's already day 9 at this point. I started the morning by trying to eliminate a few things that were going to go off in my fridge, and we did start the morning off a little bit earlier. We were going to a dentist appointment, so I had breakfast a lot earlier than what I normally do. So here I was trying to use up some sour cream and blueberries from the freezer. Those were my two things that I really wanted to focus on this recipe. And all I did was make my emergency biscuit recipe. If any of you want it, literally, I will put it down in the comments for you. You just have to ask. But I made a sweeter version of it. Now, I'm going to say this didn't turn out like I wanted to. I should have added more sugar. For some reason, I don't know if I needed to pack the brown sugar, but they didn't turn out half as sweet as I thought they would. I made this recipe using white sugar a while back, and that turned out perfectly sweet, but with the brown sugar, it didn't. So I don't know what went wrong, so I'm not going to share exactly the recipe for what I made today, but I did end up splitting that recipe in half and making half of them the blueberry and then half of them chocolate chip so that my daughter could have two different options. And then here I am making her plate with one of the little chocolate chip ones. She had already had a strawberry banana freeze-dried packet at this point, and I think she had had another snack as well. So this was just kind of like a third snack of the morning. And here I was making my breakfast. I had the leftover waffles just so that they don't get forgotten since the biscuits were quite new. So I knew that the biscuits were going to probably get eaten for snacks with jam or something like that along the way, along the day. So I wasn't too worried about those. But the waffles, I wanted to use those up since there were just two. After breakfast was done, I remembered that we ran out of popsicles the night before. So I went ahead and got a batch of those done up for that night since my daughter is back onto her popsicle kick. It's nice because we get to sneak in some fruit and sometimes some vegetables into her diet, and she thinks she's having a sweet treat. Now, for these, I went with powdered milk at the bottom, frozen strawberries, frozen raspberries, blueberries, wild blueberries, and the rest of that nectarine. I think I also had some frozen banana pieces in there. And I went with molasses to help sweeten it up and take away that sour bitterness from the berries. The molasses also gave it the added boost of a little bit of extra iron, which we have been trying to add iron-rich foods to my daughter's diet since she has such a picky diet. I went ahead and I filled up these little dollar store popsicle molds. They are quite literally the best popsicle molds I have ever used in my life. They don't leak. I like that they snap in place. And truthfully, it's nice when you have a full freezer to be able to use these because you could just throw them in any little corner. Now, I did use only half of that batch. I have a whole other popsicle mold for the next ones, and I know that I need a full blender to fill them like they need to be filled. So I went ahead and added some zucchini, a few scoops of Nesquik, and some blueberries just to top that up. I love that she loves our homemade popsicles. They're easy to make. They don't take very much time. I use whatever I have on hand, and I got to sneak in some veggies. I am a happy mama. We just got back from dollar store and Costco. This is what we got. We got 3 chickens for $29.72, and then I got 5 of these strawberry banana for my daughter's snack. They're $1.25 each. And then this is why we went over the budget. But this is needed for not only nighttime diapers, because we don't use the reusables. We use reusables, by the way. We don't use reusables for nighttime. We use 1 to 2 disposable diapers. They're just more reliable. These are not going to be counted towards the budget because we also need them to go on vacation in September. So due to the fact that we need them very, very much, and we're out of diapers for her nighttime, these needed to be bought, but they will not be part of the grocery haul. Okay, so I'm sitting in my garden and I just want to address this before anybody says anything. Now, did we just do a grocery pickup of $35 on Friday? Yes. Sorry, I'm still having a hard time talking because I just had a tooth fixed. Anyways, I was very, very numb for a long time and it's finally starting. So if I'm still having a hard time, please forgive me. And now it's Tuesday and we just spent another $35. Now this is my $35, or $37 I should say. Now this is my $37 for the week. I'm not going to be able to do another grocery pickup on Friday. It will have to wait till the next Friday. Until then, we will be using what we have in the fridge, freezer, pantry, so on and so forth. So, or at least as much as possible, but I really don't see a need for going out. That being said, I have only decided to do this because, one, we were going to be in town to get our dental work done. So the whole family was going to be out. I was going to be able to grab diapers, grab chicken, and what else did I grab? Oh yeah, the strawberry bananas from the dollar store, which one of them is already half eaten. I'm not making an extra trip to go to town to go. I wish you. I'm not making an extra trip to go to town to go pick up these items. We were already in town, so we picked them up. So my husband won't even need to go into town, like further into town, to go pick them up, even though he works till Friday. That being said, I have a very picky toddler. So having a picky toddler, she did not want to be eating fish, shrimp. She got very, very excited yesterday when we had the tuna, thinking that it was chicken, and she took a big mouthful of it and spat it out really fast. Now, if it was just me and my husband, 100%, we would not have gone to the store today, but I have to think of my daughter and her nutrition and her food intake. No, that's my cucumber. And her food intake. And so we made the decision to go. Now, like I said, we will not be going back to go grab groceries until this week is over and the next week has started. So at least until Sunday, I am not going back into a store. Anytime next week, and I feel like we are in a new week, so it's not really breaking the rules. But those 3 chickens will feed us a minimum of 6 meals, if not more, because I tend to make about 3 to 4 meals per chicken. Do I feel bad about it? No. Because again, what's best for my daughter will always come first. And this is still staying within my $37. So I hope everybody understands. And I was just trying to be proactive by having this little chat with you guys, rather than have people say, oh, you just went to the store. Why would you go already? It hasn't even been a week. No, it hasn't. But Walmart chicken prices, which I could put a picture of, are quadruple, if not more, what I pay at Costco. And since I was already there and we were already in that area, I did the pickup. So Anyways, just wanted to touch base on that and to explain why we went so quickly after we've just made a grocery shop. I saved you guys having to watch me season the chicken and put it in the Instant Pot. I figured everybody knows how to do that at this point. I do it all the time. But look at this. It looked like a frog. It freaked me out. It kind of looked so weird. But I went ahead and took the broth from that chicken to make our rice. I just gave the Instant Pot a quick rinse, and I went ahead and made equal parts. I do a little bit more than equal parts of rice to broth. And then for our vegetables, I put in some garlic, cauliflower and broccoli, a little bit of Old Bay, and the rest of the broth that I had on hand. Boiled that up for a couple of minutes and then drained it off and just sauteed the veggies in the dry pan. They were delicious. I also went ahead and added more hidden vegetables into my daughter's diet by doing a cauliflower rice with the cauliflower for her and mixing it in with the regular rice. I was really proud of myself for this day. I got to sneak in quite a bit more vegetables than I normally do, and she is none the wiser. And then she had another 3 portions of chicken, about the same size as what I gave her there. For me and my husband, we are completely different when it comes to chicken rotisserie nights. He likes to have a lot of meat and a lot of carbs, and I like to have a lot of vegetables and a little bit of meat with a lot of carbs. Before this video ends, I just wanted to take a quick second to say thank you to all of our new subscribers and tell you all how much we appreciate you, and we can't wait to see you guys in the next video.